If you've ever wondered whether you have to choose between ambition and love, this episode is for you. Today on 52, we're chatting with legislator Mazi Melesa Pilip, mother of seven, IDF veteran, and one of the most inspiring public servants you'll ever meet. From escaping Ethiopia during Operation Solomon to serving in government while raising a thriving family, Mazi's story is proof that you can lead with strength and still love with your whole heart. Are you ready to hear her story? Well, grab your coffee or tea and let's dive in. Hey, everyone, and welcome to 52, the podcast where we dive deep into the intersection of love, ambition, and everything in between. Whether you're crushing it in your career and navigating the dating world, or trying to figure out how to do both without losing yourself in the process, you're in the right place. I'm your host, Kelly, a former tech attorney turned coaching and relationship advocate. And today's episode is especially inspiring for all the high achievers out there who are wondering, can I really have it all? A successful career, a meaningful love life, and maybe even a big, beautiful family? Well, our guest today proves that you can. And on that note, I am beyond honored to welcome legislator Mazi Melesa Pilip, a powerhouse public servant, wife, mother of seven, and a bold voice for American Israeli advocacy. Mazi currently serves her second term as a Nassau County legislator, representing communities, but her journey starts long before politics. From making Aliyah as a child through Operation Solomon to serving in Israel's elite IDF paratrooper brigade as a gunsmith, and later earning 2 degrees, including a master's in diplomacy and security, she is the definition of grace under pressure and proof that love, leadership, and legacy can all coexist. Mazi, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you?
I'm good, Kelly. So beautiful, so smart, so amazing. Thank you for having me.
We love you. Thank you for joining us, Mazi. We are so excited to have you. You are truly an inspiration to so many of us, especially women, who really want to be both successful in their careers and fulfilled in love. So, are you ready to get started?
Yes, let's go.
All right. Amazing. So, Mazi, before we get into the how, I'd love to start with the who. You're a public figure, a mother of seven, and a deeply passionate advocate. Can you take us back to the beginning? How many years have you been married for? And what has that journey looked like as your family and career both grew?
Sure. So actually, we just celebrated our 19 years anniversary.
Congratulations. Many, many more in health and happiness.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I met my husband in Haifa University in Israel. He was born in Ukraine. My husband was born in Ukraine, grew up in the United States, and he came to Israel to study medicine. I was just first year in college, and
How old are you?
I was right after army, so I was 20. I would say 20.
Amazing.
Yes, and I met my husband just just I did when I went to Haifa University. I didn't think I'm gonna meet my husband and I will move to United States. It just that's what God I guess planned it for me. And from the first time we saw each other, I knew it was something special about him. But we had a big challenge, a challenge of I knew he came to Israel for 3 years. Right from the beginning, he told me that. And
Oh, he told you right away that you want to move
yeah,
back.
yeah.
Okay. And you're okay with that?
Yes, I wasn't sure if I gonna move because of him. We just met, but I just loved what I saw. He was very nice, very elegant, and he was studying medicine, and I was studying occupational therapy. So we had some common courses, like we will talk about some of the medical courses we used to take. And I hardly spoke English, I have to be honest with you. And the same things for him. He hardly spoke Hebrew. So we started it as a friendship. I saw he didn't have that much family and he didn't know a lot of people. and he was very nice. And me being me, an Israeli, I wanted to welcome him and like just to introduce him to my friends. And so he has some friends in town in Haifa. And 3 years later, we found ourselves very much in love, and we moved to United States about 19 years ago.
Wow, wow. I and all of our listeners, we really love to hear a good love story, and that is so beautiful. Our listeners would be curious to know who initiated the first conversation when you met? Like
Yeah.
who sparked that convo, that who approached who first?
Yeah, so that's very interesting. So we used to take a bus. He used to live near where I used to live, but we used to take the same bus to Rambam Hospital where we, were learning. So my best friend met him in the bus. And the first time she met him and she came to me, she said, Mazi, I think I found your future husband. And I
No
was
way.
laughing. I said, what are you talking about, future husband? Like, are you real? And then we just joked about this, and I never even talked to her about this again. And the second time, it happened to be that he's taking the same bus with her, and while they were waiting for me to get off from another bus, and as I walking and I see her with him, and she said, "This is the guy I told you about." And I said, "Hi, how are you?" And I introduced myself, and he was listening some R&B music, and he said, "Would you like to listen?" And I took the second part of the headphone, and we were listening, walking to the building, to the Rambam
Oh,
Hostel. And I said, "Okay, nice meeting you." And he said, "Can I have your number?" And I think he asked me, "Can I have your number?" He asked me, I said, "Give me yours." And he said, "I don't remember mine." And my friend,
what?
laughing, "What do you mean you don't know your number?" And then I don't think he remembered his number. So, so I give him mine, and then we said goodbye, and then the next day we met each other again, in college, and like in the campus, and 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 then that day, he telling me right now, the minute he saw me, he really felt like this is my future wife. That's
Wow.
what he's told me.
Wow, it's his gut
But that
feeling.
yeah, so but that weekend, I wanted to be nice to him. I liked him. And I said, "You know what? Come to Shabbat dinner." He doesn't have family member. He has some, but they were far away from Haifa. And my friend and I said, "No, let's have him for Friday dinner, Shabbat dinner." So
Love
he
this.
has something to eat.
Hmm.
And then he came with glass of
Wait,
wine.
with your whole family there, or was it just your
No,
friends?
be my friend.
Okay, good. Whew,
Yeah,
that
my
would
no, my God.
have. Yeah, okay. That would have been a lot. All right.
No way. I can't even share this kind of information with my parents.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not like nowadays, we don't talk about the boyfriend back then.
mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, it's off limits. Yep.
Yeah. So, and then he came with with a bottle of wine, and my
Beautiful.
friend said, "You see, he's a good boy. He came with the, you know, um, bottle of wine, and we had nice dinner. He really appreciated that." And then that's all. The next day he was calling me, "Let's go out," and we would go. And it was a very soft communication, and it was something so nice about him, so gentle.
Love that.
And I start to be in love. But I want to tell you,
Yeah,
right
tell
at
me.
the beginning, I was like, I like being with him, but I didn't like the idea of moving out of Israel.
Oh yeah.
So that was like a really challenge. I wanted to cut the entire relationship because I don't want to be in love, and then I don't want to, and then I can't go with him.
Right.
But then my friend said, "Give it a chance. Who knows what's gonna happen?"
Wow, those are good friends.
Yes.
Those are very good friends. I love that. But when you met him, were you in that mindset of, oh, I would like to meet someone special right now. It would be nice to meet good guy. Were you in that mindset, or did this completely throw you off like guard?
No, I was ready to have
You're
some.
ready.
Yeah, definitely. You know.
I love that. And for him, he's saying that he knew the second he met you that there was something. There was
Yes,
something there.
don't
What
do that.
about for you? Was there like a moment where you realized, oh my gosh, this is my guy? Like, was there a moment it's like, this is the guy I'm gonna marry?
When he came to Shabbat dinner,
That
it,
first
it, it,
time?
the first time when he came for Shabbat dinner, it was something about him that was very soft and very like class, like, and I liked him from the beginning. But again, because I knew he's temporary here,
Yeah.
I didn't want to put myself into it. Like, okay, what I'm thinking, like he's a guy is here for a couple of years and he's living, and in knowing myself, I wouldn't spend my time for something I know for sure is not gonna go anywhere. So I'm not gonna lie to you. The first few weeks, I'm like, what I'm doing? I don't want to be in love because I can't leave Israel. I love my
Right.
country. I love my family. So that was always in my mind, and I had to work on myself to kind of relax.
Yeah.
Let's see what's gonna happen. Don't make decision right now. Don't break
Yeah.
anything.
No, I love that. You were open to it. You're open to what would happen.
Yes.
No, it's really beautiful. And now let's just talk a little bit about time as well. You have 7 kids and a demanding career. Very, very demanding career. How do you and your husband, who also had a demanding career as a doctor, stay connected amid so much responsibility?
Absolutely right. It is a lot of
A
responsibility, but I
lot.
think what's helping us is our communication, like understanding each other is very important because even when I moved here, he knew the sacrifice I was putting, like by leaving, my family, my country, and start all over again. It was the hardest decision. So when I came here, he was very much understanding. He was the person that was everything for me, like my best friend, my family, and my boyfriend, and so I
Your
love that.
home.
Yeah, I love the fact that he really put in that extra attention, and I also knew that he was medical student. When we moved here, he had to start residency. So
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh,
if you
wow.
first year of residency, almost don't see each other.
No.
So, but I knew he was working so hard to get to that point. So I wanted to be very much supportive. And so I understood him. I was there for him. I didn't expect too much. I knew the responsibility he took when he decided to be a doctor. So I gave it all. Like, I was working and doing my, my own career, but I was very much supporting him throughout residency and then fellowship when he was doing cardiology. And then even then, when he started cardiology, we had my second son, and you basically raising the child alone because he's for 24 hours, 36 hours, he will be out in the hospital. So what's really helped us is being there for each other and understanding each other, not to be judgmental, not to I never said, oh, he doesn't care about me, he just care about his career. I When I met him, I knew that he's a medical student. I knew what to expect. So and
And you
he
loved it. It sounds like you loved that too. Like it was something you admired.
admired him. So I was very much supporting him. And then the same things when I decided to focus on my career, he does the same things for me right now. He's giving
Mm,
the full support, and especially having, thanks God, our 7 children. Our oldest one is 17 and the little one's 3.5.
yes.
You can imagine is like it's really really very very much demanding, but he's very supportive. He understands, that finally I'm doing something that I also wanted to do, because being there for him, supporting him, and then being a mother and raising all our children, putting my career on the side for temporary, and then when I decided, okay, now I want to focus on myself, he said, go ahead, I'm here for you.
Amazing. Amazing. And I really agree with you when it comes to communication. It goes a long way. Are there any non-negotiable habits or rituals that you two swear by as a couple to do?
One of the things that's really helped me and my husband is, although we coming from different background, he's Ukrainian American, I'm Ethiopian Israeli, and we both Jewish, which is helping us a lot. Um, is the value we are sharing. Like is when we grow up, each one of us, yes, we came from different culture, but the value of family is something's in the highest standard for us. So when we met, he knew how much I love my family. My family is everything. My parents are everything. And I knew how much love he has for his parents and his family. So that understanding was very, very important because I will do everything for his family, and he will do everything for my family. It's a holy thing. So we never had argument over that. It was like non-negotiable. We will be there each other. Family comes first. And this is exactly the same value we're trying to give it to our children.
I love that. I love hearing that. And with such a demanding schedule for the both of you, how do you make sure that when you do spend time together that it's high quality, even if it might be a small amount of time?
It's not easy. Okay. Marriage is not perfect. I'm not gonna
Especially with like your phone and everything, it's
definitely. Marriage is not a joke. It's not like everything smooth on all love and everything.
happily ever after.
And especially we
Don't
have
scare me, Mozzie. Don't scare
no.
me either.
That is no, it's beautiful things. I don't want you ever to give up of that. Really, with
No,
all
no, never.
respect to our career, I
Mhm.
always say it. Like people will meet me and they will say, "Oh, Mazi, look at you. You did your bachelor degree, master degree. You did your internship. Now you are elected official. You married. You have your children. You achieved so much from your starting point to where you are. Tell us one thing you are so proud of." I said, being a mom, like being a
Mm,
family member. That's my pride moment. So so it is, it is not easy, but it's very important. And we try to spend our time as much as we can. I can tell you Shabbat for me, it's my rest time. That's my family time. I keep Shabbat. I don't drive. I don't, other the synagogues that I go like whenever I can. It's really a quality time with my children and with my husband. So we have that moment together
I love that.
as a family and also me and him. I wish we had more time. I wish I could go to vacation with him, even without the children, because every couple needs that. Okay. But it's hard. You don't want to leave the children. You feel guilty.
Absolutely.
Uh, but I am waiting for that moment as well. So we just can take 2 days. And we did it a couple of times, twice. And I can tell you, it is totally a different experience. It's you're more relaxed. We love our children. We travel with them as much as we can. But in order to focus on each other, we need that you need that space, like to communicate, because the kids are gonna, each one of them, will drag you to their own problem, and you finding yourself like, juggling between the children, and
Of
then you need your
course.
moment. So we trying to remind ourselves as much as possible that we also need our time.
Yes, absolutely. That's so important. Thank you for sharing that. And
Yes.
you brought it up already, and we would love to hear more about this. You and your husband come from different cultural backgrounds. What we're seeing a lot now, especially with, dating apps being used all the time now, is that it's very common and it's very easy for singles to meet other singles from different cultural backgrounds and to get together and develop long-term relationships. So for singles listening to this episode, especially those dating outside their culture, what have you learned about making those cultural differences between you and your husband work for the relationship instead of against it?
First of all, you want to make sure you're finding the good man or the good girl, like the one that you're sharing the same values. Those values, you can't compromise on this. If you see there's a big gap about the bad values, then it's going to be very hard to close it down the line. So once you're finding that gap, we didn't care about our culture different. We didn't care about our color different. I wanted a Jewish boy and he wanted a Jewish girl. That was very important for us because, we want to raise our children with Jewish values. That was something, we wanted to continue our Jewish tradition. But other than this, I think everyone should give a chance. I mean, you should not say, oh, he's not Persian, so it's not going to work out. That's not true.
Hmm.
So she's Ishkenazi is not going to work out. No, judge the person.
And people do that, by the way. People do that all the time, even if they have the same values. And I used to be guilty of this, I'll admit, maybe. But, values, you're right. Values are what's really important. And speaking of values, are there any specific values or practices that have helped you and your husband bridge that cultural gap?
The respect to parents, the respect to our families, and to be honest with each other. And then for me, for example, we both wanted a big family. So it was never was an issue how many kids we wanted. We both wanted a lot of kids. So that's it was something that we met our expectation, you know?
I love that. No, definitely 7.
Also, like a career, like you need to make sure that your husband will support you, whatever you choose to do, and you will do the same things for him. You see,
Mm,
there's not one way. It's really communication and compromising and being there for each other. And nobody's perfect, okay?
no,
But
no.
you learn to see the good about each other, and you're going to focus about the good.
Right.
And then the rest is going to be beautiful.
I love that. I get to the smile out of your face. I love it. I love seeing that. That's amazing. And
I just
then
say I don't want people to make that first judgment like and say it's not going to work out because they live far away from each other. Maybe because they're coming from different background, give it a chance
I love
and
that. I
then
love that.
get to know each other. And
That's
then you
beautiful.
when you're focusing on each other, you will find a lot of things you may like.
I have goosebumps. I love it. Love that. That's honestly great advice. And our listeners are really going to be happy to hear that. And speaking of our listeners, so many of our listeners are high achieving professionals or even, entrepreneurs. They often feel like they have to choose between love and success. What would you say to them? Is it really possible to have it all or at least most of it most of the time?
I think you have it all, if not most of the time. I think each one of us should achieve our goals, our purpose in life. Okay, you should not compromise. Okay,
Mhm.
but in order to do so, you have to make sure the other person understanding it. You understand?
Yeah.
If let's say if there is a guy who doesn't believe women should go to the higher education, okay, should not hold a higher position, that's going to be a problem in the future. You know what you mean?
Yep.
You have to have that respect with each other and understanding too. I'm not judging the guy who doesn't believe in that. That's okay. Maybe that woman
Yeah,
who
that
wanted
well
to
women
be
might want it.
exactly. You
That's fine.
understand? So
Yeah.
that is a very important point
Hmm.
to understand. Like you need to be able to accept and understand and be there and be supportive. So I don't want each one of us should not give up on what we would like to achieve. Because
Right.
once achieving your goals, you will be a happier person too.
I
You
love
want to
that.
start the relationship when you are happy, when you feel you did not compromise because yes, you wanted to be a nurse, you wanted to be a lawyer, you wanted to open your practice, whatever it is that's really there in your mind, you want to touch it, you want to feel it, you want your partner to support that.
Yes.
Okay. And then things will be really easier, basically.
Mhm. I love
Yes.
that. I really truly love that. Never settle on your goals and your ambitions.
Yeah.
And
But
it
then
could be anything.
it has to be mutual, has to be
Yeah.
always mutual. And for everything, for every stage, there is a time. You understand? There's
Mhm.
a time to be a student. There is time to build a career. There is time to be married. There's a time to be a parent. So you just need to divide that as well. And you have to create a balance as well. I'm not saying now do your bachelor degree and master degree, do your doctorate and just live alone dating. That's not that's not a good balance. You
Hmm.
want to have that balance as well. As you growing individually, you also want to have somebody that you're gonna get to know and maybe grow with him. Because my husband and I, we grow with each other.
Yeah. Yeah. So Monzi, a lot of people, what they're saying, a lot of singles keep saying, you know, they want to wait until they reach a certain point of their career, a certain goal, success, whatever, and then they want to get married. They don't believe that they can get married before then, way before then, and grow with someone and achieve their goals.
You can grow with something. Again, there's when there is the right match, you feel that person is willing to grow with you. You absolutely can grow with each other together by you supporting each other. And that's the most beautiful things as well. Because when my husband and I look back and we see our achievement, we said, wow, look at where we started. Okay. And what we achieved. And both of us did not come from rich family at all. Our parents hardly had any financial support to give it to us. Nothing. When we planned our wedding, we work and we planned our wedding. We did not get any money from our parents, and we love them the way they are, either because they loved us, they supported us, and all our mission was like to accomplish our goals and help our families. So we worked together, we saved our money, and we did our wedding, and then we wanted to buy a home. We didn't have anybody to give us any money, so we were waiting patiently as we were saving to get some mortgage from the bank, and then we bought the home together. So we achieved another goal together. So everything was together. We built everything. When my husband opened his practice, we opened this together. I was there for him. I was helping him with everything. So it feels good when when you grow together. It feels equal too. It feels like wow, we build all this together.
That I
So
really love that.
I think it's very important to grow together.
Oh, that's
You would
amazing.
appreciate you would appreciate each other even better.
No, absolutely. And going through all of that, it can get very exhausting and it can lead to burnout. How do you personally protect your energy and your relationship from burnout?
I always trying to see like the good in a person. I'm very blessed to have a great husband. And even if there's a bad moment that he would make me upset, I would try to pause and see all the good things he has done for me. And so I don't let that negativity to impact me and drag me and a unhappy marriage. So we fix our issues and we move. We fix our issues and we move together and try to be again there for each other so none of us will burn out. Like for example, he will come home tired. He really feels like exhausted. He can't help me with the children. So I know that moment, that day wasn't a good day for him. So I will handle it. I'm not going to be completely happy about this. But in the next day, I will tell him, yesterday I did it all, but I understand you were tired, but think about me. I also tired. So we speak about this. Communication is really the key for happy and successful relationship.
I love that. And I completely agree with you. And right now, by the way, I don't know if you're aware of this, but dating apps now have literally, they're all incorporating AI to to create the conversations. So right now communication is going like this. It's just like no one knows how to talk to anyone anymore. So it's like you just have all of these singles like meeting each other, not communicating or ghosting. And it's something they really singles need to learn. So I love
Yeah,
that you just said communication's key.
absolutely. And I listen, you have a challenging time. It's not what it used to be 20 years ago. But you still have that, you need to have the human connection. You have to have that.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's fake, it's not real.
Yes, absolutely. And in the beginning days of your relationship with your husband, you mentioned that you dated him while he was in medical school. And I could imagine that that definitely wasn't easy. So, for listeners currently dating someone who's building a career or in grad school, what advice would you give to, really help them keep their love strong while time is tight and pressure could be high?
You see, when you meet that person that you really like or love, and you feel you have common goals and you're sharing the same values, and right now, all you have to do is be more understanding. Don't judge. Don't jump to judge and say, oh, he doesn't care about me. He doesn't love me. No, he just has to focus on one thing right now. All he or she needs is somebody who's going to support and understand that, instead of that being a fight or argument or unnecessary drama. So it just understanding each other. And then again, once you have that package of the things you want in that person, you want to invest in that person. Because when you invest in that person, when he or she achieving their goals, they are happier. They appreciate you better. And it feels good, and there's not competition too, because my husband's success is my success. I see that as my success from medical school, from the start to then to going to residency, then a fellowship, and then building his practice. It was a lot of hours and years of investment, and the same thing he feels about me. He feels like his patients are being there for me, and he see my success is success.
I love that. So, what I'm really hearing from you is communication's key, open mindedness, no judgment.
No judgment.
Wow.
Yes.
That,
And
that those are great
be
tips
supportive.
and
Very
supportive.
much. Very.
Amazing. Wow, Madi, this is gold. Truly gold. Thank you. Wow. And just to wrap this up now, let's, quickly go over a few rapid fire reflections. So the first one is there's so much talk about this dating crisis today. In your view, what's the biggest challenge singles are facing when they're trying to date with real intention and develop something meaningful?
I think one of the things also like those apps, they're good, but they're like of, all I can see my teenagers right now. All they do is just like, seeing the pictures and the videos and the pictures. There's not even look. Yeah, there is not real attention of like, okay, I want to get this person beyond the beauty. You understand? It's good to be handsome and beautiful. Yes, it's nice, but you want to discover that person more in a deep level. In order to have um, that moment, you need to give it a chance, a time, and communicate better, and then you're going to love what the other person has to offer. Or no, well, maybe you're not going to like it, but it just come down with all the technology. It should not be just okay. I messaged him. She messaged me in that. No, give it a chance. Go to eat a nice dinner. Okay, go
Yeah.
to, I don't know, movie theater. Go to a show. It feels good. I remember my husband and I will go to watch a movie, and we were like, a movies. Like, you were excited. There's a moment of it.
Romantic.
Very romantic.
And it's romantic. Now it's like a burden almost. It's like a job. It's you'll never see a single going on, and it's such a shame, but you'll never see a single going on to a dating app, but they're like, "Yes, I'm so excited. Like, let me go on this right." And
Yeah,
that's a shame. Like, it should
ex-
be beautiful and meaningful and exciting.
absolutely, very much. So yes, the updating is good. To have that per chance. But once
Yes.
you have the chance, you have to do the extra step now.
Mhm.
That you want to see the person behind the screen. You want to feel that person. You
Start
want
the convo. Like,
to,
go
yeah,
meet them. Yes.
exactly.
100%. I
That's the
thank you
way
for
to
sharing.
do it.
Yep. I like that. 12 of our listeners, listen up. So that's the way. And for ambitious women, those who want both a meaningful relationship and to lead in their careers as well, what's one dating insight or tip you'd offer them?
Don't give up of your career, whatever makes you happy, whatever your mission is, go full for that, okay? And the other person also will have a big respect to you as well. And while you're doing that, also remember to give the time for you to relax, and give it a chance to date and to understand, to get to know somebody else, and then again develop yourself individually and grow with somebody maybe you're gonna like as well. So just finding the balance. You need to find the balance.
For those that are already in relationships listening right now, or they're in marriages currently, what's been the secret to making it work between two strong, driven people? What's that secret spark?
Communication, understanding. Don't be too judgment, and understand nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect, and my husband is not perfect. But we still have so much good on us that each one of us trying to focus and see and appreciate that goodness that the person has. So you have to be realistic, and you have to be, after all, we are all human beings. We're going to make our mistakes. Okay? Make a mistakes, give it a chance second time. Talk about your feelings, for the why he did it, why she did it. Give it a moment, talk about those issues, and then, but give it a chance again. Don't jump to conclusion of that's all done. It's burned. Nothing gonna happen. I done it. No.
Oh, great, great, great tips. Thank you. And that's a wrap on today's episode of 52. I hope Legislator Mazi's story left you feeling energized and empowered to dream bigger in both your professional life and your love life. Her journey is living proof that you don't have to dim your light to find or sustain love. You can be ambitious, grounded, in love, and fully present all at once. Mazi, before we go, for anyone listening who wants to, follow your journey or get involved in your work, where can they find you?
You can go to my Instagram, Mazi our legislator.
Wow, amazing. A massive thank you again to legislator Mazi Melesa Pilip for sharing her wisdom and light with us today. And to our listeners, thank you for spending this time with us. If this conversation inspired you, shifted your perspective, or simply made you feel seen, please rate, review, and subscribe. It helps us continue bringing on more powerhouse guests who are redefining what it means to thrive in life and in love. And remember, the right love doesn't hold you back, it lifts you up. So keep dating with intention, and we'll see you next time. Happy dating. Thank you, Mazi.
Take care.
The content in this podcast is for entertainment and is not mental health, medical, or personal relationship counseling. It is not a substitute for professional expertise and judgment from a licensed healthcare or mental health professional. You should seek the advice of a qualified professional when seeking mental health or medical advice to obtain a diagnosis or any treatment regarding your mental health or well-being. The content in this podcast may not be applicable to you and your specific situation. Topics discussed in this podcast may include information that may be considered sensitive or emotionally charged to some people, and therefore listener discretion is advised. References to third-party resources are for informational purposes only, and 52 Inc. takes no responsibility for the content of those resources. This podcast is copyrighted 2025 by 52 Inc., all rights reserved.